Hello guys! So we have a new activity in the game, Pantheon, really good rewards, but there's a thing. This activity is kinda hard. Even though most players will tell you otherwise, what they don't tell you is they spend weeks in advance trying to find a stacked team, trying to find good players. They're on their social media begging for good players to join them, players with day one completions, very experienced. I want to make a guide for you and your friends, the normal players, the regular players, players with jobs, with wives, with kids, in school, that just want to play with their friends but also want to complete endgame activities in Destiny, because one thing we all have in common is we all love Destiny. So my team, we're aging around 40s, so we're not getting younger. Our reflexes are not what they used to be. We play on controller, we play on the PlayStation, so no crazy movements with us. What we try to do is we try to follow some rules and we try to do it right. We try to understand the mechanics and do mechanics right. If we do them right, we don't need to do a one phase, we can go to 2 phases, 3 phases, whatever. So bear with me guys, it's my first, let's say, raid guide, so yeah, I apologize in advance. This week we have 4 bosses. We will be 5 power levels under the enemies, and we have void and strength surges, so we do 25% more damage with that element. And we also have a new modifier called Class Warfare. When you use your class ability, you and nearby allies will do more damage and take reduced damage. It stacks up to 3 times. Each time is a 10% buff, so use your class ability a lot. Let's start at the beginning with Golgoth. We had 5 warlocks and 1 hunter for no good reason. We just go with the classes we feel more comfortable with. Most people enjoy playing the warlock, so we went with a lot of warlocks. You should take a titan, the titan will help a lot. In this first boss, we go with 3 players go left and 3 players go right. Just clear all the enemies as normal. Some will be stronger than the normal version, but the idea is the same. Now 2 players will focus on his gaze. We actually did it with 6 players just to make sure, but apparently 2 players are more than enough. Those players taking the gaze, now they will have to deal with some taken minotaurs, so be careful about that. When you take the gaze, go to the back of your team, so Golgoth will face your team, and just focus on shooting the taken balls. One thing that is very important, you need to count the timer, the time that you have left, so the other player can go and prepare his shot. You'll see some players that they only need 1 second to go, jump, shoot. No, just the second player, you don't need to do damage. Just go to your place, be ready, kill the enemies, those taken minotaurs that spawn. Don't worry about damage. We're not gonna do a 1 phase, we're gonna do a 2 phase. And if we don't do 2 phases, we're gonna do 3. If we understand the mechanics and if we can do the mechanics right, there's nothing to fear. Most of us, the normal player, we are not speedrunners. We are slow runners that want to do the activity at least once to get the rewards. We use edge transit to do damage. You can check my video about edge transit so you know what the best rolls are. And we had 1 player with sunshot, so he would clear enemies because they are very annoying. They go in front of you and then you shoot them and you die. So 1 player was focusing on clear ads. One tip here is every time the gaze swaps, you should shoot another bubble and do damage from that bubble. Guys, one thing that is very important, stay inside that area on the floor, because that's where you do most damage. A lot of players sometimes they go a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right and they're outside and they're not doing enough damage. Again, edge transit is amazing. I was using Starfire protocol, so I had fusion grenades so I could debuff the boss, and it was easy to fade. One very important thing to note is if you're a Void Hunter doing the gaze, when you go invisible, you will lose the gaze, so don't go invisible. And another thing is now 2 players will be picked to be unstable. You can both go to Golgoth and do damage, but if you're too close to each other, you're gonna kill each other. So what my team did was one player went to Golgoth to explode and do damage, while the other player ran away from everyone and safely exploded. Second boss is Caretaker. Biggest difference here is inside the rooms with symbols, the bees now spawn there, and if they hit you, you get higher stacks of pervading darkness. So you need to be a little bit faster or don't get hit. You can destroy them, by the way. And also more enemies will spawn near the players doing the Caretaker stun. Taken phalanxes and ogres will spawn, so you need to be ready for them. We had 2 players stunning, 2 players clearing ads, one on the left, one on the right, and then 2 players doing symbols. Guys, the players doing symbols go and get 3, and the other player can help you. For the love of God, don't try to hit all 3 symbols at the same time on your own. There's no need to make things harder on you. What my team does is the player that is outside is always waiting at the totem at the same angle, so he's faced in a way that he can see the left side and the right side, so he sees 6 symbols. While the other player that went inside to get the totems, he will probably be almost blind because of pervading darkness, so he will only shoot the symbols that are on the 3 spots when you get outside the room. So this way 2 players will do the symbols so much easier. I know a lot of people try to do it on their own, but there's no need, guys. No need to measure dicks, honestly. We are supposed to make things easier, not harder on ourselves. The activity is already pretty hard as it is. Loadout wise, I kept using Starfire protocol, and on my heavy you can go with Parasite or Grand Overture. If you don't have them or if you don't like using them, Edge Transit will do amazing as well. Just be careful not to kill yourself while shooting someone's back, so please guys, do not move while on a DPS phase. You do the 3 floors and that's it. Honestly, just try to help each other on the symbols. Most teams I see dying here is because of that. It's because someone is trying to do everything on his own and then team collapses. On the third boss, the difference here is shielded enemies will spawn behind you and the boss will do a scorch attack on the side plates, so be careful. What we did was we stayed in the one plate in the middle and it never got to us, that scorch attack. 4 players will do mechanics, 2 will do ad clear. Sun bracers will be amazing here. You can easily proc them on the weaker enemies that spawn behind you. For example, I started on the left side and the 2 players doing mechanics on that side would clear everything first. Then we would kill the solar enemies near the boss, and when we kill those solar enemies, the Colossus will spawn. Kill the Colossus, guys, it needs to be you. No one can help you. You need to do the final shot. And the player that did the final shot, the final blow, will be able to see the planets. Now, you will need to check for the odd planet out. For example, I'm on the left side, that's the light side, so I need to find the darkness planet and move it to the other side. One thing we do is we never click on the planet immediately, because when you do, you start the mechanic, and sometimes the other side, they don't even have the Colossus yet because they haven't killed the guy with the shield. So we only click on the planet with the bell rings, so when the mechanic starts. That's it. Again, we are not speedrunners. We want to do it right. We want to do it correctly. By using these rules, by waiting, it makes things easier on everyone. It makes the timing a little bit safer. So you found the odd planet out. So in my case, I found the darkness planet. I click on it and I tell my partner, hey man, it's the top one. You can call it by numbers. Some players use 1, 2, 3. My team does not do that. What we do is far, top, and near. So the near the boss, on the top, and far away from the boss. That's the way we call it out. But whatever you can call it, whatever you can call your girlfriend's name if you want, as soon as the other player understands which planet it is, it's no problem at all. So now you communicated which planet you have to swap, and you go to the other side and you're going to click on the planet that your teammate also clicked. So he also gave you the same information, and that's it. If everything goes correctly, that's it. Very simple, very straightforward. Now there's a change to the normal version. A Tormentor will spawn. 3 players will focus immediately on the Tormentor. We had 1 player with Shackle Grenade because it's a normal Tormentor, you can suspend them. If you have Divinity, it makes Tormentors really easy. And the other players focus on the rest of the mechanics. So now we need to set up the planets in the middle. It will always be 2 dark ones or 1 light one, and that's it. You set up those planets, you're ready for the damage phase, and by then the Tormentor should be there. Again, you can use linear fusion rifles if you like. We just went with Edge Transit again. Honestly, Edge Transit is amazing, and we did a 2-phase, and we're not normally the best players in DPS phases, and we managed a 2-phase, so not that bad. Again, I truly believe if we can do it, you guys can do it. For the final boss, and I know I'm trying to speak a little bit faster normal than I used to be because I don't want to make a long video, but I also want to try to explain at least most things. Final boss is Atrax 1. 2 players will go up to the top room, 4 will stay on the bottom one. No, not 3-3 yet. Why? Because one of those 4 players will be looking for the operator buff. When you have the operator buff, you go to the top room, making it 3 players in one, 3 players in the other. You should kill all the sniper first. They hit like a truck, so guys, kill them first. They should be our priority. They will spawn again, it's fine, you just kill them again. So a scout rifle will be amazing here. I was using Hung Jury from Onslaught, so if you're new, if you're a returning player, you can play Onslaught and get amazing good weapons. I was also using Embedded Kindness because that weapon is just amazing. Enemies will be stronger here, but that's okay. Take your time. The idea is the same. The bottom team should kill all servitors, and on the top, 1 player will be looking around for the scanner. When you get it, you can kill all servitors. You're gonna need to kill all servitors because otherwise you won't be able to swap buffs between rooms, so all servitors need to be dead. And when they are, the mechanic will start. The mechanic can start in 2 ways. It's a hidden timer, so after a while, eventually it will start, even if the servitors are alive, or it will start immediately when you kill all servitors. When it starts, the scanner will look around for the glowing boss. You cannot DPS the wrong one. You tell your team which one is it, if it's the left one, right one, whatever it is. You do a small countdown, and when it reaches 0, you all do damage at the same time. You don't have much time to do damage, so you need to use burst. You need to use a super. If you have a Titan with Curse of the Falling Star, it will be amazing. You'll do tons of damage. Most people are one-phasing it with Titans. If you don't have Titans, use Nova Bombs. You can use Parasite. Parasite is amazing. Grand Overture is also amazing with that 20 loaded rockets. And that's it. Supers and burst damage. Then, when the boss dies, you need to pick up his soul, and you need to, if you're the scanner, you need to go to the machine and send the scanner to the other team so can they do the same thing. And you do this twice, and then it resets and starts all over again. So you send the scanner to the bottom team does damage, they send the scanner to the top team does damage, and they send the scanner to the bottom team and they do damage. While we're doing this, when the boss dies, when we kill the boss, we have to pick up his soul, otherwise it will explode and wipe us. So now you will follow the operator player, and the operator will go to one of the side rooms. He will open a door to you, and you go, enter the door, he will shoot the soul out of you, the boss's soul, not yours, so don't worry. And then you come out, and the soul will safely be expelled to space, so it doesn't wipe you. And while doing this, a Tormentor will also spawn. Bungie now loves Tormentors, so you can teleport between rooms, so be mindful of that. Honestly, what my team did, we didn't worry about it. We just let him be. It's in the next couple of weeks, when the power decreases or increases for the enemies, it will probably be a problem. But right now, you can let it be. It's not such a big deal. And that's it, guys. That's pretty much the Pantheon. Sorry if I was very fast, even though it's almost 20 minutes of a video, but I tried. I truly believe anyone can do it. It will take time, guys. It's not gonna be on your first go if you're not very experienced. Don't mind those guys that keep telling endgame is extremely easy. Nothing like that. Yes, it can be for experienced players with knowledge and the right builds. If you don't have that, if you don't have enough knowledge, if you don't have enough experience, don't worry. Keep trying. Keep understanding what you're doing wrong and adapting it to your team. Most things I said, I think will fit most teams, but some teams, they'll probably say we prefer to do it a different way, and that's perfectly fine. Every team composition is different. Every team is different. And again, you're playing with your friends. You have jobs, you have wives, you have kids. You play this as a hobby, but you still love this game and you still want to accomplish everything this game has to offer. So keep trying. Don't let anyone say this is extremely easy, because it isn't. So if you did it, congratulations. If you haven't, keep trying. Call your friends. If you don't have friends, make some friends. When you play with someone, with a random that you found on LFG, and if the vibe was right, why not send a friend request, start playing with them, and create a nice group. Because the true end game of Destiny, honestly, is the friend game. To have a nice team doesn't need to be the better players, they just need to be cool people that you enjoy playing with it. And that's it, guys. It's not really a guide, it's basically me talking about the encounters. I hope you like it. If in some way this helped you, say something nice in the comments. If it didn't, I'm sorry that I wasted your time. And well, that's it. I'm gonna leave the final stand going, and I'll keep doing build guides because I'm better at that. I'm not very good at this, but one day maybe I'll be. We all start at some point, right? See you guys.